All right, what's up guys? It's Dave here at South Shore with Condemned Labz. I got my boy Chris here. We're gonna go over a couple staples of ab training just to make sure you guys are doing everything correctly, getting the most out of your workouts. All right, so we're gonna start with hanging leg raises on the chair here. Big mistake most people make is they just lift their legs without rounding their hips. You wanna flex the spine, bring the knees up to the chest, and make sure you get a full contraction of the abdominals. This particular movement targets the lower abs more, which most people struggle with, so we're gonna start with that first. Perfect. Chris is rounding his hips. It's slightly coming off the pad. He's getting a full contraction on the abs, full extension on the way down. And as you can see, it works. So the reason Chris has to round his hips is because the abs are responsible for pulling the pelvis up towards the rib cage. If you don't do that and you just pull from the legs, you're gonna be working the hip flexors primarily and a little bit of the rectus femoris and the quad. This way, the abs are fully extended and fully flexed, bringing the pelvis towards the rib cage. That's the main function of the abdominals. All right, so what we're gonna do now is change the angle that we're hitting the abs at. Before, Chris was raising his legs, bringing his hips towards his rib cage. Now what we're gonna do is bring his rib cage towards his hips, focusing more on the upper abdominals. Chris has massive legs, so the resistance there wasn't really necessary to add. Here, we're gonna add the medicine ball just to put a little bit more strain on the abs on the way up and a little bit more negative resistance on the way down. Now Chris is doing these the most difficult way possible with the ball over his head, which adds ultimate resistance. For people that aren't that strong or don't have that tight of a midsection yet, they can put the ball towards the chest, which takes a little bit of the resistance off and allows for a little bit easier contraction on the abs. And again, we're flexing the spine forward, bringing the rib cage to the pelvis, elbows to knees, whatever mental cues you need to kind of get your mind into that kind of, that mindset of flexing the abs, not just keeping a rigid, stiff back. So another staple of abdominal training is training the transverse abdominis. It's a layer of muscle underneath the rectus abdominis, responsible for keeping the core tight, pulling the organs in towards the body. The only way to train this muscle is with deep vacuums. Inhaling, pushing the intestines towards the spinal column, uplifting the diaphragm and holding in. As you slowly exhale, release, let the stomach relax, and then pull in again. 10 to 20 repetitions like that for about 10-second holds is good enough every single day to train the transverse abdominis. Chris will show you how we do it. One of the best in the business. He's gonna hold that for a couple seconds. Good, slowly relax it out, and then pull it right back in. When you're doing this, you want to imagine sucking your belly button to your spine and holding it in. It can be uncomfortable and a little painful. That just means you're doing it right. All right, so bending over like this allows a little less resistance on the transverse abdominis. You can get a little bit tighter contraction for those who are trying to do it for the first time. So Chris is going to pull in now. He's going to suck in nice and deep. His waist is going to basically disappear. He's going to try to pull everything from the belly button to the spine, sucking up towards the diaphragm. Hold for a second, relax, and then repeat. Again, same thing, 10 to 12 repetitions, 10-second holds every day. Training the transverse abdominis. So what we're gonna do now, we came upstairs because I want to use this contraption we got here. This is probably one of the hardest ab movements to do. Obviously, Chris has a great set of abs, so it's no problem for him. It's hanging leg raises, no support, no elbow straps, just him holding his body weight. Same movement, bringing the hips up towards the rib cage, fully contracting the abdominals. Let's see him put the movement. Perfect. You watch, he's gonna round his hips, knees up towards his chest, pelvis towards his rib cage, fully contracting the abdominals, flexing the spine, rounding the hips. That's the most important part of the movement. And if you notice, he's not letting his legs come fully down. He's keeping them at a little bit of an angle, keeping tension on the abs the whole way. You don't wanna relax them and let them hang because it'll take tension off the muscle. Perfect. All right, so we just put Chris through a crazy ab workout. Obviously, you can see what we're doing is working. You know, everybody knows that abs are primarily diet, cardio, but we have a lot of products from Condemned that help get that little bit of extra pop, that little extra slice, that little extra crispiness you see in Chris. Humislin, arsen, the thyroidogenic, all those incorporated into a good nutrition and training program will help bring out the best in your abs, all right? I'm Dave, this is Chris. We're gonna sign out from South Shore. Thank you guys for checking us out.